Cool. Perfect. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend. And yeah, let's start. Let's have a good week. Um, First off, we have the pairs that we took last week. We have gold, euro, USD, CAD. Euro, USD. Some people let it hit stop loss. Some people moved it. Depending on what you've done, then you just follow us. Whichever way we see now. Right now, gold, we are up like I think about 150. Yeah, 150. We did hit 220 pips on gold, but we're now at like 150 pips. What we could see here is we could see price go higher. Price did break this trend line. You can argue price broke that trend line, and so now you can either say price is either retesting this trend line, retested this trend line, and going to go higher. So I thought the move was going to go a bit higher before. This analysis was from last week. So I thought that price was going to go a bit higher before we made the retrace to go higher, but price decided to break out very slowly and drop. I retest, so drop. But so we have this area now on the 4 hour. If you see, price made this bearish. It was consolidation and candle for 8 hours. This was price consolidating for 8 hours and has ended up with a little bull and most importantly bear. As price tried to pull up higher, price did reject off this level. And so we could either say that price is now going to come back to form either a right shoulder or drop down to the trend line before it goes higher. Just trying to mute everyone. Yeah. All right. So sorry. So price did come back to retest the trend line now. So we could say again that we could say that this area here is a safe area for a retrace. So this is a support which was broken, retested, and it dropped. And then now we have another support which we bought at last week, and this is running so far now. We have this support that we bounced off. Price decided to go higher without really coming down to test this zone. You could say it did, but you'd want to see something, a deeper retrace to this zone before it goes higher. And so now we could easily expect price to carry on coming lower until this zone. When it comes to this zone, the price will either go higher like that. If it does follow that pattern, and it will go higher. If it does not, then the price will carry on going lower. And then obviously if you did buy there, you'd be stopped out and then you look for your next opportunity. But for now, we have to see really how it reacts to this area. So it did consolidate here and go up, which was all right. But then it should have came down or went bullish. But now it's decided to stay in this little range here until it decides if it's bull or if it's bear. It has no direction currently, no direction. But when it does give us confirmation of the area, it probably will consolidate. If it does break out, it will always retest, and then you get in on that retest. So you wait for your confirmation. But if you get it now, you take a buy, and if you take a buy, you're 50-50. If you take a sell, you're 50-50. But if you see price go up, break this level of resistance here, break it and retest it, then it's going to go higher. And so you have a higher probability of that trade. You have more confirmations. You saw what you wanted to see before you took the trade. But yeah, you saw what you saw before you wanted, so before you took the trade, and so you have a higher probability of following your plan because your plan made sense when you started. And so this trade is a 50-50 trade. This trade you have, say, 3 or 4 confirmations. You have 70-80% chance on the trade. And if it doesn't, you always have that. You always have in your head that this could be a losing trade. So I need to remember that my lot size should still remain the same. You should always be disciplined. Your lot size should remain the same. Just because you saw it happen before, and it's going to happen. You think it's going to happen. It's going to carry on happening. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. The market doesn't have to do anything, and it can do whatever it wants to do. So you always have that in your head that you could lose this trade. So make sure your lot size is okay for the stop loss pips. And so if you are, then you have nothing to worry about. If it does go to plan, then you're good. You write down what went to plan. If it's not good, then you don't write down what went to plan. I mean, yeah, you don't write. Yeah, you don't write. Sorry, that's bad. I meant you write down what you did bad, and for the next time you try not to do that. And then you'll find another mistake, and then you write that down, and then you make a list, and then that list is the most powerful list because those are the stuff that you don't have to do because you're just losing. So if you do that, you're losing. And then if you do it and you don't listen to your plan or you don't read it, you say, oh, just this one off. And if it does go wrong, you know why you went wrong again, because you didn't follow what you wrote down. So you always need to write down a set of rules, set of entry requirements. And if you take a trade that didn't follow it, only you're to blame for that, because you're to blame because you should have followed the plan, and now you know next time you have to always follow the plan. If the plan goes wrong, you still follow it because you have the way out. So yeah, plans very important. Most of the time, 90% should be planning, and 1% should be clicking buttons, which is what everyone just wants to do. So now we have a level here as well. But yeah, so now this is resistance for this area now, because price broke. It didn't retest this zone until now. So price went up, support, broke support, sorry. Didn't come back. Now it's retested support. So this could easily just be the trend line could be a fake out there. That could be a fake out. This could just easily just create another trend line, because trend lines aren't strong. Trend lines, they're not everything. They don't mean anything. So this could be easily the start of the next trend line. And to confirm that this is going to go lower, or if it does do this, it will probably go lower, because you can't say for sure, but you can say probably. Let me delete. This is last week's. So if price now comes lower, retest this. Yeah, because it's going to create a new trend line. So we could do this. And then it comes back to retest this area. Wicks close below the trend line. And then we get people are going to start buying this because inverse head and shoulders. And we wait for the confirmation of a break of this level here. So we might see buyers come in here and start forming right shoulder. So if this breaks out, it will go higher. Or where we attack is when the price comes back down lower, it will retest this area. You could get about 63 pips, but yeah. Or yeah, so for this area, for this time, you could either at this, you could either take profits here, or you could wait again to see if it will break to go low. But yeah, so this might just be the start of a channel, but we don't know yet. And at the same time, we might see price come up now, break and go higher, or we'll see price come down, retest, and then if it decides to go higher, we'll go higher. We'll retest, and then we'll go higher. So if it goes higher now, then we get another confirmation. If it goes higher from here, we get from confirmation. And that's why we don't sell this until we see, because all the patterns are up, but price action is down, and price action controls price. So doesn't matter what patterns you see. Well, patterns you see is good to an extent. So after a certain time, patterns, or after certain price movements, patterns don't mean anything, because price doesn't move with patterns. Price makes patterns and has higher probabilities to make those patterns again. But at the end of the day, the thing you look for is price. I think one of you asked me this. Like, sometimes candlesticks, banks don't trade with candlesticks. They don't trade with candlesticks and wicks. They don't get in that. They don't trade like that. Right. Yes, banks don't trade like that. Banks trade with they trade on price. They buy lows, they buy dips, and they trade like that. They don't trade off the charts that we trade in. That's why it's so much harder for us retail traders to make money using retail charts, which are manipulated to take people's money. And the only way you can stay away from that is by always never forgetting to read price, because at the end of the day, price is what you're trading. You're not trading candlesticks, and we use candlesticks to help us identify what happens, using price at the same time to help us. So both have to be there to do analysis. Both of them have to exist. When both exist, you have a higher probability and a better chance to take a trade. So what would we want to see? For us, because we're in a buy, now you see your position and you try to your position that you're in now, you try to see the best way of getting out and making the most of it. So now we are in, from here, we're in a buy. We bought at these wicks, which were inverse at the shoulders, but they happened so quickly. Most people missed them. But and this level was fake as well. So if you see here, this is the area people would be buying at, because this is a support area. People buy there. People have what, 50 pip stop loss. So say someone bought here and they put their stop loss below this candle here. So around 40 pips. They know that people are going to put their stop loss at 40 pips, and the price just to make sure everyone is out. They first put it to this level, so people start moving underneath it, and then they make one last spike before they go higher. So say they put it here around 70 pips. They'll take 70 pips from you for like something stupid like that. Like anyone could do, and everyone would do once they're trading. Not everyone, as in no one's ever perfect. People will still make those mistakes, but you have to see you have to make sure you understand the mistake you're making, so you can be better for next time. So they did one more wick, and then everyone was probably out, and then price closed where buyers came in, and so the 4 hour closed with a long wick. And so the next 4 hour candle, it started dropping again. So everyone that was selling and got stopped out is happy, because they're seeing price come down again. They say, we didn't get stopped out for no reason. Price is coming back down again. And then and then price starts to reverse again. They get scared, they start panicking. Price goes higher, and they say, "Oh, it's going to go lower. It's going to go lower," and then people start having sells from here. People get stopped out. People's emotions everywhere. Like if that does happen, it happens. You just watch it happen and see where you can get it next. And that's the biggest problem. There's no time to like. It's about. It's no time to moan. There's no time to moan to yourself. Like if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You accept it and you carry on, and you write down a mistake just to make sure you never make that mistake again. And that's it. And that's it. And nothing else. And after that, just cut it out. Okay. Yeah, so that's gold. We discussed gold. So if we break down lower, we're looking for sells. If we're looking to sell this breakout and then buy here. And if we do breakout up, then we have a nice. Right, so that's gold. Both biases are equally good. So, and if we are in our what do you call it? Buy from here. So if we do see price come down to here, we would want to see the retrace, and then we'd put our stop loss underneath the retrace. So if price doesn't break up, it's going to hit our stop loss before it comes down and melts. So we'll still have that many pips, and we took half profits already. So yeah. And if not, then price will carry on going higher. If it does retest, then we take another buy here. We leave this our original buy open. So that's the plan for gold. For Euro USD. Okay, this was a lot quicker than I thought it'd happen, but it did. This is okay. Here's another explanation of a simple manipulation. Though it's fucking like people like they fuck with people's heads. Like they fuck with your head so much. And only the ones that you have to see the same thing. You have to act. You have to make trading into like living day stuff, so you can really understand the true meaning of it. Because say you've never had the first withdrawal from a broker. If you do have a first withdrawal, then you would get a sense of achievement and a sense of you've been doing this for so long, and now here's your first withdrawal. Like, it's like your paycheck, and so you always think about it as a paycheck. So you're getting paid to do this work, and you're charting for what, say 3-4 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and so you got paid £100. That's £30 an hour. So you think of it like that. I think of it as like a part-time job, and then after you grow slowly, and it's not you grow slowly, and there will be a certain time where you could be, but it's all like a journey, like slow. No one ever makes it quick. Some do faster than others, but no one ever makes it quickly. Okay. Yeah. So here's the support area. Yeah. Here's a support area. Here's a support area. Here, even here's one. Which price did bounce off the first time. Trick buyers into the market, start melting, hit all their stop losses, go higher. People who know what they're doing, sell on the like scalpers that know what, like, this is how they make money. They just sell on the tops. Sellers come in, it drops again. They get to the bottom, sellers get out, buyers start buying, goes up, sellers jump back in, boom, tank. And that's how they make their money. But this is the move. Banks and scalpers and traders, they make their money off these moves. Swing traders make their money off these moves, and they make their money off these moves. So they're always trading. So if you're a trader that likes trading a lot, like, as in can't sit down, be patient, then you do this, and swing traders come in and go boom, and they get this, and then see what's next. while you are the ones who are making where they make. I'm not saying you, but you're the ones who's making money off scalping. So you move it like this: you buying and selling, getting it out, tricking people into buying and selling, making the market makers rich, making them money, and then wait for the opportunity, and then swing traders get in, and for the next up or the next down. That's the main difference between scalping and swinging and intraday. A lot of people ask. Yeah, so this is the support. This is the support area. Price kept on going down, breaking, retesting, and people selling, buying. Then it causes this rubbish to happen, and then price melted all the way to the bottom. We did, I think I did, but we did buy somewhere across this because it hit this support, and I thought this support was strong. So we were supposed to buy, but we did buy, but it didn't go. The plan started melting, but um, yeah, I was in from here, I think, something like that. And then I bought again here. And then we got 150 pips. Some, as I said, some hit stop loss. Some hit take profit and some are still in it. But now we could see the next move for EURUSD is now it has this area of resistance that it broke. Strong this strong area of resistance that it broke now. Is here. It broke with a bullish 4-hour candle. That's a good sign for more bullish momentum, and so price has broken out and broken this through a resistance at its critical level, and now price has retested. This would have been a beautiful area here to get in for another buy, but price is still consolidating now. So we have to see. For now, we have to put this in a box, wait for it to break out. Or whoever's in this wants this to happen more, wants the top one to happen more and enter more buys. And if not, then you would wait for the break. And if it does break, retest, and then you'd get out of these buys here, which is still a lot of pips. But that's like a trade within itself. That's a trade within a trade. So you're really thinking about how you want to enter and exit before you take every single trade. But yeah, Euro USD. For this week, I don't know yet because it's still consolidating. So we got to see how price action moves, and I'll update it throughout the week. USD CAD, we were in this as well. So these two Euro USD is open. I mean, gold's open, Euro USD for some. USD CAD just hit stop loss, which was the one who was open as well, which was 64 pip stop loss. So there's no chance of reversal. It broke that area. USD is going up. Or CAD's going down. This is now just the this is climbing back up.
Back yet, so what I did is 11 bombs smaller down there. They don't do, you don't know where. Something down there. That's all it is. That 55 oranges, fucking rubbish, lad.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're expecting price to retest this area now and go higher. It broke this major level. It broke this major level that we were expecting for price to drop. It did drop, but it was not. It was a fake drop. So yeah, we're out of this now. But now we are looking for price to retest and go higher to this level. This will be a nice swing. if you buy stop loss, we need to find the area. Let's see. That's a good make change it to 100 pips. So our stop loss would be 100 pips, and take profit would be, let's say, 350. $350, and then we would see what happens at the next area. But I think this should be a good trade. Yeah. Okay. Here is the that's gold. This wick could either drop or could fake and go higher. So you'll see what happens. It's still Monday, so anything can happen on Monday. So go to EuroJPY. All right. So we had a buy that hit that we took 100 pips off last week. Remember, we bought it. It went up 100 pips. It rallied, and then we took half our profits, and then we moved our stop loss to break even to see if it would go higher. It didn't go higher, and then it dropped down, and we closed that break even for that half, and the other half we took. I think it was 100 pips, 80, 100 pips. We're now at, I think JPY is a nice buy just from looking at price. We see a trend line here. We see a fake out. We want to see another left. We want to see a right shoulder on the 4 hour. I think it'd be nice. Let's see how it looks on the daily. Yeah, so it was similar to what we were looking at for, what was it? Gold. We have this candle here as acts as a left shoulder. We have this candle here that acts as a, what do you call it? Head, and then we want another one which reaches around, which is around this length. So we want another one around this length, and we want to take our buys here with our stop loss underneath. This is a good stop loss because if it hits, the trade is invalid. So it's a lot better stop loss having that than having a massive stop loss. So but it's going to be quite big. Okay, stop loss would be 30 pips. Let's see. Yeah, so if you have like I think 35 would be good. So if you have a 35 pip stop loss, it will be below this candle, below this level here, this small level here. Below, it will be below that, and then we'll take the entry. So I don't know, depending on how price comes down to here, we'll adjust the stop loss because I might have it a bit bigger because that's a still smaller stop loss for a good decent move. I think the first take profit is here, which is right. First take profit is 200 pips for a 35 pip. That's 125.78. That's 126 risk to reward, which is a very good trade. And then if price does decide to break this level, which is by going higher, then we will look for another buy entry. Is what I see. Sorry. Alright, just copy this, show you. You can't do that. So it'd be something like that, but the opposite way. I don't know why it doesn't let you do it. It doesn't work. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I think we're gonna go higher, make wicks down here to this level, and then I think it's gonna go even higher than that. Which is this support. Retest this support, that's another buy. Yeah, let's go to the lower time frame and see what our entry could look like. Alright, so this is the 1 hour. We've been following this sort of trend down for a long time. Okay, and then if we go closer to 1 hour, we have this here. We have this little range starting now, and the next move up will be determined when we break this range. So price could come down here. So yeah, so I'm waiting for price to break this channel. So if it does break it, I want to see a retest of this channel to this area. And then this is where we want to go buy. Yeah. Or it could happen sooner. So it could happen here, and then we'd still take the buy even though it didn't break the range. And then we'll take a buy here because the stop loss is only 35 pips. So if we do take the buy here, we expect it to break the range. If it does, then we could take even another buy. If we wanted to as well. Yeah, so it could happen, what we said, it could happen here. So it's whatever gets triggered at this level. So here, break out here, or just here. So a nice area to go long. If it breaks out, I would look for entries a bit higher, and I'll take a smaller stop loss. So I would take an entry. If it does break out, I'll take an entry here. And then if it, and I'll still have my stop loss here. So If it carries on going down, then I'll just take another buy here. Okay, cool. So that's Euro JPY. We're looking for buys. And when we are in the trade, we will manage it to see if we can add positions. So we look for taking profits first here. We look for taking some profits. Reversal, so yeah, similar, yeah. So let's see what happens with Euro JPY. Let's do Euro Pound, one of the worst pairs trading right now is Euro Pound, but it is starting to look better. We're looking at the pound is starting to get weaker. So the price for Euro Great British Pound is getting stronger now. It's getting better. Price is getting better. Pound is our economy's going. So we have this now. We've touched every single one. Yeah, so we've touched every single head on top of these wicks. Let's just leave it. We've touched every single head of these wicks, and now price, and we had this support area that we kept bouncing off, and never closing bearish. We've had this level of support here. This is why support is better to be drawn in as zones, never as horizontal lines. So never draw zones with horizontal. So never draw a zone like that, because you get it's very misleading. Because if you saw this bearish candle here, and then you see a retest of that, of your so-called support, then you would start to sell, because you would see this area here. When price broke out this area, it retested here, and price started to drop. You're saying you retested here, so it started to drop. So that's wrong. So that's why support is always better drawn in zone. Okay, so we bounced off this zone the last time, and we faked. This was a little fake out. We rejected again off the trend line. Now we went very bullish, and so we are waiting for price to come back down to, say, this area. We want to see a daily return to this level. Then we would buy. As you can see, price was squeezing into support. It was squeezing into support, and then it either breaks out that way or breaks out this way. And when it breaks out harshly. So they already started breaking out proper big moves. And this is the daily candle. And so now we're expecting price to retrace and then go full bullish. I would take this trade on 1%. Firstly, because it's a daily. Yeah, it's a daily. It could drop lower than this very easily. Yeah, I think I'd take this as a 1% trade, and will be sent as a 1% trade, not a normal trade, because I even see price, because we have this little zone here as well, which is a strong zone, and we've had institutions come in very swiftly at this point. Because you see wicks, you see manipulation, you see banks, you see hedge funds, you see these people jumping in the market. And we see here, as soon as price started to go lower, buyers came in and like knocked out the sellers in the market there. And so, yeah, banks trade volume. They don't trade candlesticks. They don't need to trade candlesticks. So if price now, if this was the price, this was the retrace that price wanted to make, then we're gonna start going higher now, and we don't want to get in until we see a retrace back up back to that zone. So this zone here that it is now. We want to see a retrace of this zone before we buy. And if we do come down to this area here, as we said, we take a 1% buy. Put stop loss below all the wicks. So you put stop loss below this wick, these, and these. So you take a buy there, stop loss below that. There we go. That's our confluences for the trade. We had a price squeeze again, trapped in. Price broke out one way, needs to retest, and then we go higher. We want to see a deeper retest so we get a better entry with a smaller risk to reward. Or if we don't, then we take another entry right. I won't draw that one because it'll get messy. Or if we do go higher, then we look for buys there. No. Once price breaks, we will look for around this level where we see this. But we are taking half profits at this level here, and then this level, and then we'll take at this level here as well, and then here. So this isn't just going to run because this is a serious amount of pips, so we have to be careful. Yeah. And then the other buy would be, we said, yeah, same bar pips. And then if it breaks, then we would wait, we would see the wicks that it makes here, and then we'd want to put our stop loss below the wicks. So this would be a bit bigger, probably a bigger stop loss depending on the wicks. I think the wicks might come down to this area. So let's see. So we have a bigger stop loss. You can put okay. So that's our Euro British pound. That's our Euro JPY. Oof, price started to go higher now. So if we do break, then we'll look for that retest that we said. Anyway, Euro CAD. Flying because of the CAD. CAD's getting very weak. We have a strong level of, not strong, but we have a good level of resistance here at 1.6-ish. Yeah, so we have what do you call it? We have a double top, or because and we have resistance, but to take the trade, I think you'd have to see the lower time frame uh to figure out your entry. So for now, price was squeezing, exploded, and we've had this happen here before. Not squeezing, but we've had the consolidation, and the price just carries on going higher. Retests carries on going higher, just flying now, and we'd have to wait for a strong daily rejection of this level here to take a sell. So once we get a strong level of daily, when we get a strong level here of bearish candle showing a resistance and a change in momentum now, that's when we take the sell. Um, when we do take the sell, the stop loss will be above. The stop loss will be above these wicks here. Okay, look, if you look at now, we're looking at the monthly tells a different story. The now we see price is so bullish. Price has made two fully made bullish candles monthly, and now we have um, our new month now, March, which was just started, and price is already going crazy bullish. So we're expecting to see some level of retracement or change in market structure. Like bulls can't bulls can't carry on for too long now, because we need to see some kind of, even if it's like a little retrace or something in the daily, or as we said before, the daily time frame, then we need to take that. But right now, Eurocan is bullish, and it's very bullish. It's going crazy. Where if we wanted to say targets, if we do break this area, we could easily look for the next resistance up here, easily. And that's the thing. If we go into the day, if we go into like the weekly, we see a thing, a break in this resistance here, and then retest, then we can easily go higher. And this is been happening for the bullish momentum is so strong now. So we would either have a week that we close bearish to go higher, or a week to close bearish to go week lower the next week. So this isn't a trade that we'd be taking anytime soon. So yeah, this will take days and weeks to confirm. So we just have to wait for this one and just keep looking at it every week to see. Yeah. So from there. All right. So Euro USD. We did Euro USD. Euro AUD. I remember we were watching. We were. This was analyzed last week, but we were watching this. We were watching this consolidation box, and we did break it. We did break the box, but there was so much because there was so much manipulation in between that we couldn't even get an entry. If you see on the daily time frame, you see that we had a consolidation box on a resistance, and we still broke it. So we were at this era. We were at a double top. We had a top here, we had a top here, and we dropped. But price wasn't staying there for too long. And now the next resistance that we're looking for is 1.6 ish. And let's draw where price is going before we get the next channel move down. Yes. Price will get to this level, and then that's the squeeze that we look for, something like that. And then we break out. That's the bigger picture on the daily time frame. So now price has broken out and it's full bullish. We have to wait for a candlestick confirmation, a touch, a rejection, and then we sell with a very small stop loss because this is a counter trend trade. It doesn't need to have a big stop loss because it will be say we have a 40, I'd say 40 pip stop loss. We don't need anything more than a 40 pip stop loss. A lot of people been saying they want to sell Euro UAD, but it's not ready for sales now. Euro UAD is on steroids, it's going high. Euro UAD. But that's the problem with Euro UAD, so there's a high bet value. Sorry. Okay. We have a stop loss. We have a entry. We'd want to take an entry there once we have price action. This is we can't put some limit here because we are waiting for price action before we make a move on this pair. Our stop loss would be just. I don't know why I was trying to do it like that. Say 50 pips. Okay. Yeah, so that's Euro AUD. Once we see a daily close, a rejection, some kind of bearish confirmation, take a trade there, 50 pip stop loss, and it'll be a nice trade. For now, we could if price does come down back to this area to go higher, then we'd also buy very easily. If price doesn't go all the way here, but price does want to return to this zone, not at this area, but at this area, then we'd want to look for buys to this area before we come down. Okay, and then that will change the plan of the trade. So if we do come down here, there's nothing to say we'd come down here. We're in no man's land. We broke daily resistance. We're in no man's land. We can't just buy. Can't just buy for no reason. You can't sell because there's nothing telling to sell. If you want to buy, the only thing you should be doing is buying because you're in a very bullish market and you're buying the dips. But we're looking for the bigger move. So we want to see because we're swinging it. So we want to see what if price comes down to this area. Do we want to go higher, or if price comes back to this area? This is our level. This is our level of price that we wanted it to reach, and if it leaves rejection candles around this area and closes, then we'll look for sales back to this area. 287 pips, easily achievable if we do come to this area. It'll be a very nice counter trend trade. It'll be something like this. You come back up, and then we'll come back down lower. So this is what we're looking for. AUD USD. These are the other dollar pairs. We had a very we have this bearish momentum. We had this first bearish move. Then we had the retrace. We had the retrace onto this level, which may have been a good level. We don't know. Yeah, so we had a retrace to around 61.8, the perfect retrace level, and then we had a sell down. Now price has broken this level. This could be a fake out, and this might just price might start to be going higher now, but we had this level. So we had this level here. Price broke this cleanly. We tested it cleanly. So I think right now we wouldn't look for buys at the moment. We'd wait for price to reach this level, let's say. Say buys. Okay. This level is retested, so I don't need to retest that level anymore. All right. Yeah, so for now, there's no really a trade in this AUD USD, but because this is a now we're coming into a strong area, we'd look for buys around these areas here. So we could even move this to see, like, it could be like here, here. So we could see that we want to see price bounce off there. And if we go onto the daily to draw the up trend line, we have a strong trend line there. So and this is on the daily price had this. So yeah, so price was squeezing in. Didn't follow the pattern here, didn't break out, faked out, touched the line again, then went up. Allow, it's coming. Let's remove these because this is more important. We're coming into this zone here. So we are looking for looking for buys. And if we do connect it to yeah, we do it like that. We could see that price did reject off this trend line, but now it's coming down. So we need to. So now what we need to see is today's daily close bullish. So this could be just today's Monday fake out, waiting for people to start selling, for buyers to start getting out of the market, and it's already Monday. Yeah. So we could see a double bottom, maybe a little spike down, and then nice buys. First target. Stop loss. Yeah, on this one, stop loss is going to be hard because you won't be able to put it in a place that makes it invalid. So I think for this one, we'd mark up this and then put the stop loss at like 50 pips. So we give price the chance to get to this trend line and then reverse. So we have a better chance. And then if it was, you could break out this trend line, retest it, and then yeah. Yeah, so I was looking for, but I would want to enter there. because price could just make the double bottom and take it, and we could take the trade. So let's just do this a bit lower. So we do get, so we get that wick that we wanted. So we get that a better entry. And yeah, so if price does want to come down, it comes down to here, then that's our last resort. If it doesn't break off that, and if it does try just go lower, then we'd watch price come down to this area. Yeah, so this is a nice setup if it gets triggered. But this week we have a lot of AUD news. Um, according to Euro AUD, that's why I said it might start dropping from now, because AUD is it's fundamentals, isn't it? There's nothing to do with technical analysis. So Euro AUD could just go up higher to the news. News comes out, AUD is weak. I mean, AUD strong, and then the Euro AUD drops, and then it will look. That's where you look for your buys up again. But for AUD USD, we'd want to see price come down to this area and go higher. So we look for the fundamentals for AUD to be strong. Because there's a lot of fundamentals this week, and it's NFP week. We take this as 1%. Let's look at NZD USD. Okay. I remember taking sells here a couple months ago. I drew this trend line because I counted this as a fake. I counted this as fake because this trend line is a strong trend line, so we could easily just bounce off this area. This area is a good trend line support area. As you can see, it recovered really quickly. So it was fake. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this off because it's not as strong, but it's still something that we should consider. We have a little area here that we had a retracement on last time before we went down lower, so we have to watch this area. But on the weekly time frame, it is looking a sell. It created a triple head and shoulders, so it created the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, created a triple top, more than triple top formation, which is a strong formation. So even on the daily, looks like we're going lower. However, it's NFP week, so till Friday, we're probably not going to break this support, which we need to. And price will probably consolidate. But price will probably just consolidate. And because we are looking for sells, you could enter sells at the top of the consolidation. So if we go into 4 hours, say, let's say this will start creating a triangular pattern. So it will start creating one of those patterns. And when it gets to the top, we could sell with a stop loss there. Or as a DUSD is cheap, so it's like you could have a nice 30 pips stop loss, and that's like 35 pips stop loss, and that will invalidate the trade. So yeah, if we don't, then we're going to get a break of one of these areas. But yeah, so this is still holding. Sellers are still in control fully until we break this. We can't say that buyers are coming. We could use this level here as a level of support. This is support. So we do expect price to go up, and it did go up, but it started dropping very quickly after. And so sells are the only thing that look right at the moment, because we would look for simply something like that to go lower to make that triple formation that we were talking about. Let me just try to see. Or this level of support will hold, and so we will break out and retest the trend line that we just broke. Maybe is it going to break out that harshly then? Let's just say it's going to test the zone. It might break out slowly, retest it, and then go higher, and then retest this zone here. Because this is the more important. We want to see the retest of the consolidation zone. And then, I don't know, we'll look for another toppers, I guess, here. This would be a 1% trade, because even though it is what, as in we are trading what we see, which is the buy, it is against the overall momentum of the graph, and buys don't make sense on the weekly and the monthly time frame. Buys do not make sense. So yeah, that's why we're looking for sells more, and we'd like to take more sells rather than buys. Yeah. If not, we'll just look for a return to this zone. Yeah, look, we could go out here to fake and then just go back down and then get the confirmation we need. All right, let's see how this let's see how this develops. But yeah, so both options are still open for us, but we need to just see if we get a nice retrace. We need to see what happens really with the market, because right now price is consolidating at support. Nothing really. If we go into the 1 hour, we just see more consolidation. All right. USDJPY. Hey, there's no bias yet, and it will be updated as we go through the week. As we go through the week. USDJPY. Yeah. So now we have reached an important zone. Okay. We broke out this zone. We retested it, and that's why we went lower. And so we can't use this anymore. So now we are looking for sells are, if we're trading against momentum, if we're trading with momentum, we could look for buys as well, because we came to a zone trend line. However, if we go into the 4 hour, we need to have some kind of entry plan for if you want to take a buy, you can't just enter now. So we want to see price now start to gain momentum upwards, but not for a liquidity trend line. So not like a liquidity trend line where it just breaks it and goes lower. So we could either here, right now, we could consolidate, price is now starting to go up. If it does start to go up, so let's make it if it starts to go up and breaks, retest this trend line, then we'll definitely sell. But because we are at this zone and this trend line, we could look for buys as well. So if we do break this area here, if we break it, retest it, then we're looking to go higher. But if we don't break it and retest it, then we're looking to go lower. This is the zone that we're watching to see where we want to take our next trade. Right now, we don't want to take a trade because we're just in the middle of nowhere. But price has broken this level, retested it, went down, started to go back higher again. Price is just playing around right now. It should price if price really wanted to retest this area, price would have started to go lower, not um, fake this little area here and then start to go higher. So this could just simply be a fake because now we see that prices starting to go bullish when price shouldn't start to go bullish. That's not what we wanted to see. So yeah, we're looking for a liquidity channel line or a change in market structure. Where our bias for the change in change in market structure is because we're at a critical support area now where we got a big retraces from last time. We visited these areas. Also, we're at the trend line, so we're looking to see if we can have a change in market structure. We're not looking for a market structure. We're not forcing it to happen, but we're looking to see if it will happen. And if it does not happen, then we're looking to see this liquidity trend line forming. We're looking to see it break, retesting this trend line and this trend line, and then it'd be just a simple sell back down to the area where price decides what it wants to do next, and we take our chunk of the move and see what price wants to do next. So always just see what price wants to do, react on what price wants to do, react on what it does, and when you've seen it do if once you've seen it do what you want to do, just get out, wait to see what you wanted to do next. If it doesn't, get in again. This is a bit detailed, so we'll have a 2-minute break at 3. So yeah, so now if we do break down and go higher, where would we enter? We would enter here. Where would our stop loss be? It would be either below here. If we enter here, our stop loss would be 100 pips, 100 pips stop loss. We're accounting for if price wants to retest this trend line and this area here to make it a right shoulder, and this head, left shoulder, right shoulder. If it tested this area, then we could go higher. So, and if price isn't starting to show bullish action, we wouldn't enter here. We would just literally wait for price to come back to this area to enter buys. If not, price will, as we said, will create the liquidity trend line, drop down, and retest and go lower. And this trend line is just the liquidity trend line. That does not mean anything more than the liquidity trend line that we wanted it to be. NZD USD, so yeah, that's consolidating. And we said we have to wait for the break of the consolidation box. And AUD USD also, we said that we're looking for buys if price makes a double bottom, and if it starts to go higher now, we just wait for the break of this level retest and then we'll enter and do the move up as well. Yeah, I didn't like this rejection. I mean, this rejection was good, so it's not the best to take a 2% trade here because a buy against this would mean that this would be a fake out. So we're guessing that it's going to be a fake out before it actually happens, as in before it actually is a fake out. You get what I mean? Yeah, so we'll see how this 4-hour candle closes. If it is a rejection in the bullish candle, we could enter. So let's just see how this candlestick goes. I'll put it as well, just to see what it is. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we will enter this today, at least until New York closes. So we'll see how this goes. Until then, we'll watch it. We did Euro, Gold, ADST. Let's do the pounds. And then we'll do AD, JPY, and AUD SSD. And if anyone has any more that they want to do, then just send it, and I'll do. And I'll add to it. And if you want to do DXY, I'll add to it as well. So let's just take a 2 minute break now till like 3, 2 minutes till 3. Yeah, so it's two to 3 now. So it's 2 minute break, and then we'll carry on. I'm just gonna go get some coffee. All right, let's go. Great British Pound CAD. So let's start again on the weekly time frame. Last week we got to see how it reacted to resistance. Price stayed within resistance and broke it this week today. As you know, Monday's a fake out day. So this weekly candle means nothing until this end of this week. Until Friday, this candle means nothing. On the what you call it, daily time frame, price is going higher and could close like this, and then we could have a consolidation period here, drop down lower, retest this zone, and then this would be nice sells if we are looking for sells. We have to be careful of this trend line here when we are coming down. So we have to be careful on this zone before we assume that we're going to come down. So let's just move this here. Just for now. The move we want to make, we want to see happen is for price to come down to here, retest it, and go lower. Yeah. So if not, price will not come down that far. It will not retrace that far, and we'll get this. Price will retest, may leave wicks here on daily and then go higher. So if it does do that, we want to get a buy. We want to buy there. If we see price action reacting like that, we want to buy there. Make support. It makes sense. Broke support. Broke resistance. Retesting, making it, solidifying it as support. Buying. 3 confirmations, 3 trades, 2% trade. If it breaks down lower, same thing. Head and shoulders, resistance. It's going to break down for more of a correction and then see what happens after. What's your profit? We do have an uptrend line here. So price could just literally come down to here. Like we said, it broke it. So it could come down to here. And so buys are also a very good trade. So both of them could be a very good trade. Would include that. So we're gonna see how price reacts now. See what it does next. So if it comes down low and goes higher, or if it drops down, retest to go down. This is why CAD is getting very weak now. So we'll look at CAD JPY as well. Let me just see. Let me just check the chat in case. No one said anything. All right. Well, let's just take a look at USD for a second because this news just came up. All right, cool. So, Great British Pound CAD, that's the buys. Breakdown lower, sell. Breakdown go higher, that's the buy. And we're looking for those 3 confirmations. So if we come here, we want to see wicks, a bullish candle. We're gonna buy a dip to go higher. If we break down lower, we're gonna buy this very point and put a stop loss above the head, well above this resistance here, which is around here. Both would be very good trades. We just need to see which way. We just need to see which way is going to set up for us to take the trade. All right, so Great British Pound AUD has been consolidated. We could say this area is a consolidation. This whole area is a consolidation. So you can say this whole thing here is a consolidation. It has no clear path yet, as of yet. But we see a trend line. We see another trend line. We see another trend line. All up. And they're all buys. It's all buys right now in the market. Fully bullish momentum. And we have this level of, let's just draw this level of resistance. So we could go higher and then drop down. But to sell, so we said we could buy and we could sell. But to sell, sorry, because we had this trend line before, which was a strong trend line, but price retested, went lower, and then didn't even take consideration of this trend line. So this trend line isn't a trend line we should use for our analysis because it's not a valid trend line. So now the only trend line we could use is the one it just created with two hits on it so far. Until we break this trend line, selling should not be an option. Maybe retest this zone. This is zone, and then we look for sells. To see where we enter, but the drop would be dependent on the price action at the time. Might be something like somewhere, guessing somewhere around here. And then stop loss would be above here. Stop loss to break even at 20 pips, not 40 pips, 20 pips. Because as we saw here, it faked and went higher, so 20 pips. And also to buy, we have this. If we see a retrace, price will go higher. It will retrace and it will go higher. We're not looking for buys at all. So if that happens, we're staying out. We're just looking for sells on this pair. We do have in mind that buys could happen because it could just bounce off again, go higher, but we're not looking to buy because our bias is for it to break this trend line. So, but buying is an option, but it's not an option for us. So if the sell setup doesn't set up as a sell, then we just leave it. AUD has a British AUD has a high put value as well. Okay, British pound USD. Yeah, tricked us last week. Let me just draw it again. Yeah, so we did have a buy last week, but we got stopped out like 2 pips before the move happened. Which happens. We got the other 2 USDs, but then this one got away. It was like a small stop. Okay, well we're expecting price to come back to this area. So yeah, so we expected this to be a liquidity trend line. We'll see price come up to there. Ideally, we want to see a retest. We probably won't get a retest, which is why we're going to sell when we get to the zone. And we look for prices around. Okay, let's see in the higher time frame, see where we're going. Bigger picture. Yeah, so look, price. So price started to recover from what's it called, beginning of 2017. Then price just made ups, dips, and you can see this very big squeeze here. So you can see a very good squeeze here as well. So this could literally just do the same thing. The price could do that, and then we could go boom again up. But as we see here, we consolidated for the up movement, so we are probably going to consolidate. We have a trend line here, which is very clear trend line. So we just want to see that break to go higher. That's the overall. We don't expect price to go bullish. I mean bearish. We might have a spike, but we don't expect a weekly to close bearish because we broke this support, this resistance. Sorry, so we broke this resistance. So this is a retest to go higher. It's a dip. At the same time, we have to realize that on the monthly, that this is a stronger zone. This is a resistance zone. Let's see. Okay. So this is a zone here. So into it, we need to be careful. Okay. Let me see if we just do this. Okay. So in the high time frame, we're looking for buys, and so this would probably be our profit targets, and this would be an intraday trade. It would not be a swing because this isn't a swing trade. Well, we could catch the high We could count this as a swing trade, but we have to see how it actually develops. And from here, we expect it to go higher, or from here. There's a lot of possibilities on this one. This is my favorite possibility. So this is the most likely one. We're going to see a break, retrace here, breakout to go higher, or this could happen as well. So whatever happens, retest and then we buy the retest. Whatever happens. We'll see what happens. It's NFP week as well. So if we do get to this level before NFP, we're going to drop. But I highly doubt it, because this took like 2 weeks to get there. Yeah, so 1 week. So yeah, let's see how this develops. It is gonna go up higher. Here you could buy dips, so you buy when it comes down to here, buy, and you have this is like scalping, taking 10 to 30 pips ish. But yeah, okay. This is what we're waiting for to happen on the 4-hour time frame. What else do we have? British pound JPY. Okay, the monthly time frame. February closed bearish. We've been very bearish for the last month. We need to see a retrace before we go lower. Going on to the weekly. We got the retrace already. For now, this is very bearish momentum, so buying is very risky. So we're not going to be buying. We're not going to be buying in the middle of nowhere, because right now, no one says it's not going to go higher, because we're in like a even though see how the week goes. Yeah, that's a free to do. So we have this, so price could start going higher now, but this is higher isn't to change market structure. This is to drop again lower, but it needs to price needs to move in waves, can't just move. Yeah, so if you want to look, if you want to what you call it, if you want to get in, you look for area of resistance and big region. This is for sell. Okay, so that's the 61.8 region. So if now price starts to go bullish, we'll go very bullish very quickly, and then from this area we'll look for sells. From here we look for sells, and this is a head, left shoulder, right shoulder. I wouldn't sell just yet, because the daily candle on Friday, it did close as a reversal candlestick, but we need more than that to sell, to buy. So we can do that. If price does break out this, retest it, then we are happy to take buys, because we are seeing a change in market structure. And this is on the 4-hour a fake out, because on the weekly we close above it, and on the daily we close above it as well. Okay. So that's all the British pound, and then let's do AEDs quickly. AED has hit a major support region. So as you can see, all the JPYs now are at critical levels. So all the JPYs now could go, could have, like, could move in any way they want to right now. So now we need to be careful trading the JPY. So we need to see the real change. So we see how it actually develops, and when we actually catch it, that's a swing low. And we could enter now as a buy because we are 60% buy because we're at support and we have different reasons to buy. But remember that the market does the opposite to the majority. So we need to see the market actually going that way before we actually enter, because it might just go against the majority, as we know that it usually does. And so we should wait for confirmations before we take, because look, we're in heavy bearish. Heavy bearish. So like it's the same as this, we had heavy bearish, and we until we see a change in market structure. Like here, we see a change in market structure. Market is starting to move up, waiting for a double bottom. Then it started to go up. For now, we could see. I think we could see that price might come up to this area here. Might come up to this area and then make a double bottom or start to drop. But we're looking for that correction before we go lower. So there's nothing that's saying that we can't go lower here, but we need some sort of correction. We could break support and then correct and go higher, but we want to get in the correction, and it may turn out to be a swing low because this might start to just go higher from this level. And so we plan the trade so we have the best entries and exits. Make the most, or yeah, to make the most out of each trade. Okay, so for our as we said, we wanted the correction, so we want to break out. Doesn't have to be a big breakout. Small return to the trend line and zone, and then breakout, return, higher to. If it's enough pips, then we would enter. If it's not, then we just watch it. So if we enter there, our buy is there, and our stop loss is there. Oh, so risk to reward the 50 pips to 150, 1 to 3. Yeah, nice area. I think this is a nice area to buy. And because look, we came down to this area, and then now we're looking to come down. We're looking for it to break and come down to this area, and then I think once we break and come down to this area, we will get our target. But again, we have a stop loss. If it starts to die, this trade is invalid. If it hits our stop loss, it's invalid. It's that simple. Then the price was just going to carry on going lower. But it hasn't retested the zone. And when price breaks out a zone, it has to come back to the zone. Whether it comes back not where when we expect it to, or whether it breaks and comes back another time. So AUD JPY, that's the story. Big AUD needs this week as well. What's this? AUD NZD. Okay. The bottom. Also at a zone. Some people are better at different pairs. So like if someone has seen the same pair for a long time, then you're going to be better than me at that pair. I do gold and UJ a lot. But pairs like this is exotic. Some people prefer to perfect these pairs. They have less volume. So we have trend line 1, 2. We have the help of these two. We have an area here of support, not the cleanest area of support, but an area of support. On the daily, we have trend line here. We rejected with a reversal candlestick here of another zone, and so I would say that either possibility is in play right now, because now price has dropped down at low. It came to 23.6 and rejected off it. So the price could now just drop below the zone. If it drops below the zone, then we would wait for price to come down to this area to buy. Or if price starts to go up now, we look for the sell. I don't think we're going to buy it because the buy isn't tempting. So looking for the buy there for the next. So we wanna move down to this level. Once we get to this level, we'll take buys, because on a daily time frame, if this trend line is that strong, then it's a good area to take buys. Yeah, so this is here with sell. I don't think we're gonna get here. We're probably just gonna drop down. So we're gonna have to wait to see what happens with this one. We can go that way, drop down. We're gonna have to see. From here, we're gonna sell. We're gonna have to trade. Yeah. Or we're gonna drop, or we're gonna drop from now. I don't see price breaking this because we've had only 2 touches and we didn't get to the critical zone yet, which is around this area. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. There's nothing really to go off right now. Yeah, let's go to lower time frame to check out. We have a double bottom, could indicate bullish movement. We did want to enter, we'd enter here. Double bottom. I don't know how I feel about this. If price breaks this zone, maybe I would consider buys. So if price does bounce off here, come down, I would consider buys from here. Right, so now, yeah, I'd wait for price to go up higher and come down to tell me that it's going higher rather than just taking it from here. Because I think taking it from here is a good entry, but it's dangerous entry. Yeah. Yeah. So let's wait for it to break out, come back down, and then we could even say it's testing this one, and then we nice buy. Stop loss below all of them. Yeah, I like it. I like it, but I don't at the same time because I don't like history on it. If we buy here, where would we look for targets? Let's say 100 pips. And then, depending on how price reacts from there, we look to take it up to 156 to sell. 1 hour. Ramen reversal. Let's see. Let's wait for this 4 hour to close at 6 and then judge if it goes higher. So if it goes like that, then we could easily say the next one's going higher. But let's just see how it goes. Ideally, I would want to enter there though. At the purple line. As you have it there. Yeah, so that's AUD NZD for this week as well. So if we do come down to here, then we're going to go higher. Most of the pairs for gold. Wait, let's just check gold out again because we're in it. All right. Okay, as we said, look, price didn't break down lower, well, hasn't yet. So price could easily just break out, and then we'll look for buys, and that will be another buy. Right now, we're running at 160 pips, 165 pips. Yeah, 165 pips. We're at 165 pips currently on gold. So we'll try to get another entry for those who closed or missed it. And for AUD USD, if you have it open, price rejected and carry on going higher. So is it going to carry on consolidating in this box, or is it going to break? So we're just going to wait for the break, and then we're going to wait for the break to take the trade. USD CAD. So let's wait and see what USD CAD does. This CAD is quite very strong at the moment. So this is in a trade that I'm looking to take soon. So yeah, so those are all the pairs for the week. I'll send them through to the chat now. Send them through to everyone in the chat, and then everyone have a look at your own analysis and how it compares, and then what's it called? We'll go through them. Any questions, just let me know. And I'm free all day today, so any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna upload this on the YouTube channel now, and then I'll send the link as soon as it's uploaded as well. So if people want to go over any of the points or want to write down anything and take notes or anything, then you can take it on the recording. And for the people who missed it as well, other people who missed it and only watched parts of it. So yeah, so I hope everyone has a good day, and let's have a good week and wait for our confirmations. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.